On Saturday, January 19th, as part of Gun Appreciation Day, more than 300 Second Amendment supporters rallied in downtown Rapid City in front of and around a popular gun store, First Stop Gun. Liberty Today was there with our camera and our support. Here's a sampling of what we saw and heard.
I am here because I have a constitutional right to keep and bear arms, my Second Amendment. It's very important to me for my own self-defense and to defend my country against tyranny, which is, I think that we have a tyrant in office. To my legislators in Washington, I would say, follow the Constitution, don't mess with my Second Amendment.
Why am I here? It's because this is where every God-fearing, good patriot should be standing today. That's why I'm here. And I tell you, our founding fathers, they stacked the First and the Second Amendment in that order. Number one, our greatest freedoms, right? Upon which all the freedoms that follow are founded upon. What's number two? It's the only way you can actually protect them. History tells us that. American history tells us that. So we're all about the Second Amendment, and we thank our founding fathers for that. Message to the citizens of the United States. I'll tell you exactly, I'll quote the words of Kitty Worthman of Eagle Forum, who grew up in Austria under Hitler's rise to power. She said, keep your guns and buy more guns. She saw exactly what happens when a tyrannical ruler says, we're going to take your guns away. History tells us all the countries that we've seen where genocide eventually came into the country, it was always predated by a gun ban. These are frightening days in which we live. American people, we like to think the good and the best of people. It's hard for us to actually imagine there's that kind of an agenda still on this planet. Oh yeah, it's alive and well, and it keeps showing its ugly head. And I think it's doing it once again. So anytime you hear somebody saying guns are bad and we're taking them away from you to keep you safe, be careful. That's when you're in trouble. Proactive measures. Well, I'm newly elected to the House of Representatives here in the great state of South Dakota, and proud of it. And two things that we're doing. One, I introduce a bill. It's called HB 1087. It's getting a lot of press, a lot of negative press, simply because it gives school boards the freedom to arm who they need to arm, how and when they need to do so to keep their kids safe. It's great to be amongst people that support that kind of logic. Of course, you've got people who are opponents of it, and they believe that any presence of guns somehow equals more violence. Once again, and it's very hard to somehow convince the person that thinks that way of true logic, which is the presence of good guns is the only presence that stops the presence of bad guns.
There's a lot of support in the state legislature for the Second Amendment. I want you to know that. There's a lot of bills coming down the pike. And I guarantee you, as free men and women, sovereign citizens, we will never give up our firearms and our rights to protect our families and to protect ourselves against an overbearing and abusive government.
That's right.